Howdy, folks. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn. And today for you, I actually have a new video series that I'm starting. I'm going to start a playthrough series of the game known as Blade Runner. Yes, this is the 1997 Blade Runner that's for PC. There's been some process that they've been actually trying to remaster the game, but it's a long schmeal about the remaster process, and it really hasn't been finalized yet. And essentially, they've gotten as far as releasing a functional version that you can play on modern PCs. However, you don't have the full remaster capabilities of it being with modern day graphics and things like that. But I'm going to talk a little bit here about Blade Runner the game. This game was made by Westwood and Virgin Interactive, and it was actually heavily influenced by the movie Blade Runner, which was in turn influenced by a book called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. It was actually the first look into essentially what would become the cyberpunk genre. And essentially the film, I'm going to focus more on the film. I really don't know a lot about the book, but the film is focused in 2019 Los Angeles. Yeah, we're already past 2019, aren't we? Understand that this was done in the 80s. This is like 1981, 1982, folks. We had no idea what things were going to look like back in the 80s, but we had high hopes. We had very high hopes, folks, and unfortunately, well, we're more worried about what bathroom people can use over making flying cars, unfortunately. But the movie would follow the antics, if you will, of Deckard, who was a Blade Runner. Basically, he is a replicant detective, bounty hunter, if you will. And his character was actually heavily influenced by Sam Spade. So you'd actually have like this future dystopian sci-fi noir story, if you will, a detective story, which is where the influence of Sam Spade came from. And it would actually influence cyberpunk. Oh, sorry, not this cyberpunk. This cyberpunk. Cyberpunk 2020, the role-playing game, is actually where the influence for Blade Runner was one of the influences that made Cyberpunk the tabletop role-playing game. And it was only one of the many influences. But you can pick out little snippets that you'd find actually in Blade Runner and Do Android Stream of Electric Sheep that would end up in the cyberpunk role-playing game, which kind of like, it's kind of weird because the cyberpunk subgenre would actually exist before the actual tabletop role-playing game. So I guess you could kind of say the role-playing game just kind of used the generic term cyberpunk for a sci-fi subgenre of novels and movies. But that's really it, folks. Just a short section of kind of getting you geared up. I'm going to dive into the footage here of Blade Runner the game. You know, obviously they made a game, and actually it was actually a fairly successful game. It was like a point-and-click detective action game, if you will, adventure game. Now, today's video is just going to focus on giving you the introduction of the game, and then the next video will actually start covering real legit gameplay footage. So I'm going to shut up now. Hopefully you will enjoy this section of the game footage, and I will join you after the footage is done.
I'm leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runser, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait! I haven't finished with you. I told you we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humility.
Oh, please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh, my God, no! That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
BR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the second sector.
BR 61661, report to division headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk, and yours truly led the cleanup crew. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself a heinous case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up. Holden's sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in, and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how to make a girl feel wanted.
Animal murder done at Runsiter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runsiter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1, this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out.
What happened?
Couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse, they never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put them on the machine?
Hell no! There's a beautiful little thing in here called the Magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gouza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runsiter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-road paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries.
All right, folks, that's going to be the end of the first video. The next video, it'll be actually the start of the investigation at Runsiter's. So anyway, folks, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see that. I'm going to do a whole video series on my playthrough of the 1997 Blade Runner. Also, in the next video, I'm going to take and cover the basis, more or less the rules that I used for my playthrough. More or less, they were rules I just kind of came up with on my own of, okay, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, stuff like that. So that way it, I don't know, you could say just kind of lay some groundwork for how easy or hard this game was going to be for me, as this is actually my first playthrough of Blade Runner. But anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I will see you for my next Blade Runner video.